Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Look at my man John. We missed you last week, my guy. So
I'm
much has
back.
happened in 1 week. The Washington Commanders is hosting the 2027 draft. Our second round pick, Trey has a back injury all of a sudden, and the Dallas Cowboys make a big move that I'm actually happy about. All that and more is coming up on the Burgundy Breakdown. Let's get it. So I told the fellas, man, I got this one tonight as far as the lead, because when I saw that trade go down today, I said, you know what? I'm actually happy for the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to get it off my chest tonight. But we got my man John back. John, what's up, bro? We missed you last week, man. This was your show last week, the draft, post-draft show. You was supposed to go in because Reedie said you ain't like none of the picks. How you feeling?
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean by don't like none of the picks. He must be putting words in my mouth or something.
Cappaport. John Cappaport. Because I was on the live.
That's true. You were on the. It was a long night. 3 hours and 45 minutes for that last year. But no, I was at AEW Dynamite on the Hard Camp. I was on TV having fun on Wednesday. So I was like, damn, I got my tickets. I'm gonna have to go because this shit ain't refundable. But you know what? I missed it. It's a damn good show, but I'm back. We're getting busy. We got a lot to talk about.
Yes, sir. Hey, look, man. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Reedie Zee, how y'all feeling, man?
Feeling good, feeling great, bro. Definitely
not
excited. It's been an exciting week. Can't get my mic together over here. I don't know what's going on. But definitely been an exciting week. Excited about the draft. Excited to be on with you guys and ready to talk.
All righty, so fellas are here, ready to get active, a lot to talk about, and I'm going to just go ahead and get straight to it. So the Dallas Cowboys made a trade for George Pickens, and look, I had to take care of some things early on, so phone was off, immediately turned it on, got notification from the group chat, and I think it was you, Z, that said Dallas had picked him up, but in a moment, it was like Pickens and a star emoji, so I was kind of a little, like, not confused, but I was like, okay, I ain't paying no mind.
Hollywood?
Then I got on Instagram and I saw it. I'm like, hold on. Typically, I would be like upset, like, oh my God, they just got so good, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's because we're good now that I actually was like happy. I applauded it. I was like, I like this move. So when it doesn't pan out, you know what I'm saying? We could celebrate. But no, in all seriousness, the NFC Beast, man. This is what I live for. As much as I would love to run away with this division, how much better would it feel for me personally? I'm gonna speak for myself, for us to dominate and come out on top of a really stacked division. If you ask me, the Giants, if they get 7, they can win 7 games this year. The defensive line is crazy, right? You got Malik Neighbors, obviously, and then whether Jackson Dart is it year 1 or not, but if they could come up the rear with 7 wins, them being the 4th place team. Now, all of a sudden, Dallas, in my opinion, still this kind of puts them behind Philly and Washington, but it gives them another weapon alongside CeeDee Lamb, and they don't have to rely on Jonathan Mingo. And in that offensive line, 3 Tylers, man, I look at it as they ain't got no more excuses, man. They cry for Jerry to spend the money and all this. He made a trade. Now they got to go out and execute, and I'm actually excited for them. For this, not excited. Let me stop saying this. I'm actually happy for the move, but I think it's more so because we're good now, so it doesn't really affect us in a negative way. It actually just makes the competition more exciting, and it kind of puts a more light on Trey Amos, who I felt was the perfect pick for this division due to his physicality, and now adding George Pickens, who we know wants to be crazy. Remember what he did last year? He did something to Benjamin St. Juice last year. I forgot what exactly it was, but he did something like crazy to him. That ain't flying with Marshawn Lattimore, Trey Amos, and Mikey Sarah still. So I think that's why I really love it, because we have the weapons equipped to stop that offense. Correct. How we feeling about the trade of George Pickens? Positive, negative? How we feeling about Dallas landing another wide receiver?
I don't like it. I said it earlier. I said it earlier in the text. And yeah, my bad, Juan. Reedie get on me all the time. I always send. He said I sent subliminals, but I sent. I felt like if I sent Pickens with a star that we automatically know is Dallas or whatever. So it took a little while to sink in. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm like when I saw it, I'm like, okay, I'm not mad at them for making a move. He's definitely a weapon. Definitely somebody that was on my radar as a potential trade. Kind of like throughout the offseason. So. I mean, it's cool there. Dre I feel like Dallas had a pretty good offseason. They had a pretty good draft. They've been making moves. They always seem to not have no money, but they always seem to make shit happen. So, shout out to them for that. But, I mean, on my side, on the, coast, on the Commander side of it, I don't like it. I mean, yeah, it brings competition, but, I mean, Lattimore better be on his A game.
I think that's a Trey Amos matchup, though. Not to cut you off.
Yeah, but I was saying, like, I hope Trey Amos is who they say he is. What I mean? And in my mind, I'm like, if Lattimore ain't on his A game, then shit, Mikey gonna have to step up and get on Pickens or hop on CD and let Trey. You know what I mean? We got to figure it out. But I mean, shit, another weapon in the division. We gonna see. It's comp for sure. I ain't ducking no wreck, and I ain't worried too much, but I don't like it.
So you don't, let me ask this before someone jumps in. So you don't like it because you think that highly of George Pickens and you feel that he is going to be that good, especially in that offense.
I feel like, yeah. I feel like he's a nice weapon. I know he got maturity issues and things like that, but when it comes, like you said, in between them lines, he's a hell of a football player when he shows up. And I think that, it's just another headache that we got to worry about, and add that to CeeDee Lamb, and then I think they drafted Blue. They upgraded the offensive line. I mean, Dak will be back. So it's like,
will he be back though? That's the question. We all know Dak gonna have his September, October MVP race and drop out of it by November. I guarantee you they gonna be yelling, screaming, and heated on the sideline by November. But they gonna start out hot as they always do.
I know what you're doing. He's saying we them boys.
Go
they Super Bowl this day year in October 14th. You check December 15th, they out of the freaking division race. So hey, look, I'm excited for him, man. Bring him into the division, man. We, like you said, we ain't ducking nothing.
I ain't ducking no wreck at all. How about you, Reedie?
Now let John go. I'll go last.
Go ahead, John.
All right. I saw the trade. I said, all right, so I guess Dallas doesn't know how to sign players. They know how to trade players because this is the fourth trade this offseason. I got it previewed up in the queue if you want to put the graphic up on the screen for people to see. Because it's a fourth trade. They put up they gave up a fifth and a sixth for George Pickens. They threw in a sixth because they were feeling whimsical. Threw up a fifth for Joe Mixon. Threw up a fifth and a seventh for Kyer Elam. Threw up a 6th round pick for Kenneth Murray. Y'all gave up half y'all draft picks, 26 and 27, really next year's draft, all together for third string quarterback, your fifth string corner, your third string linebacker, because no one's had faith in Kenneth Murray since his draft stock, and then now your wide receiver too, who was going to be Jonathan Mingo, or it was going to be Jalen Tolbert. So in all honesty, it's not the worst value, I think, in terms of third and a fifth for Pickens and a fifth because he was a second round pick. I just think he fits the culture. NFL young boy, crash out Poppy, George Pickens goes down to Dallas, doesn't know how to behave himself. It writes the script. It writes the script for himself. So in all honesty, as long as he just crashes out one game against us and gets ejected like CJ Gardner-Johnson, we good. We cool. I know Cowboys fans are going to enjoy it. I know Pittsburgh fans are going to crash out because why can't Mike Tomlin coach wide receivers correctly? Well, it's not his fault. Y'all got character issues in Pittsburgh. But in all honesty, I give it like a B. I think it's just good value all around. It helps out Dallas. It minimizes Pittsburgh's potential to be a good quality team. They'll get 9 wins this season, but it's all right.
Yeah.
I think it's a good trade. I'm happy for him. Congratulations. Cowboys Nation, please stand up. I'm happy for y'all. Because I don't want it to be no excuses when we bust that ass this season, oh, we don't have this, we don't have that. Jerry Jones don't want to go out and sign nobody in free agency. Y'all doing pretty goddamn good to me this year. And in the draft, and then going to get a pairing somebody with CeeDee Lamb over there. And let's call a spade a spade. Dakota could play. Yeah, he's going to get injured. He's going to do this, he's going to do that, but call a spade a spade. He's a good quarterback. Now, I'm not saying he's elite or he's a top quarterback, but he is a good, serviceable quarterback that many teams in this league would take on their team. So, when healthy, he can do it. So, I'm happy for him. But it just strengthens the NFC East. We're kind of, getting back to that dominance of the NFC East that it was at one point, where all the teams are coming along. Now, and I'm not even going to sit here and say that New York is going to be a slouch, because I like some of the things that they did too. So I think it just levels the playing field, kind of like brings everybody up and just evens out that competition, with those dual threats, Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. You got Debo and Terry. You got Neighbors and whoever else he got over there. And these two guys in Dallas. So, it levels the playing field. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a 3-3, maybe 4-team race. I don't know. One team's going to be out of it, but it ain't going to be an easy out in the NFC East this season. But so I'm here for it, because the Cowboys, they always got fucking excuses, and I just don't want to hear no excuses now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have a quarterback. Cooper Rush is our quarterback, or XYZ is our quarterback. Or we can't do this, we can't do that. Let everybody be fully loaded, pause, ready to go.
Yo. That's payback, Reedie. That's payback. Yes! Like, no, I'm just playing. I said fully what? It's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. Hey, that's tough, man. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, but I look, I'm with Reedie on this one, man. I like it. I really do. And like you said to your Giants point, man, I don't think they're going to be bad. I'm high on Brian Daboll. I know a lot of people think he's a bad head coach. I don't think so. There's no way you're that good with Josh Allen, and then you just get to New York and everything around you is just bad. The GM is allowing his kid to make picks. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the Giants' picks were so good this year because his son was the one at the helm. That's what I was hearing. Maybe his son, Joe Shane's son, was making the picks. I mean, God, like his son literally said draft Jaden Daniels or Malik Davis, right, or something like that.
It was getting you one chance to win in this league, you gotta go get him, and it was Jaden Daniels.
Trade up for him,
right? Yeah. So I like what the Giants did. I like what Dallas did. Again, for me, like I said, but Reedie pretty much said it all. It's no more excuses for them. We already know they make this move. They're screaming, "Hey, it's our year." They're going to the Super Bowl. I can't wait for the season, man. That's about to be such a fun battle, bro. This whole
December to January, they're gonna be on their high horse. They're gonna be up for Christmas. Stephen A. Smith saying, "Just wait. Be patient. What can go wrong will go wrong. Come January, Dakota's parade is going to get rained on because they're going to lose some games and get kicked out the playoffs."
And what I will also add to that is, and I love it. Like, I would love, like I said, to just run away with this division. Who we kidding, man? The as much as the spotlight is on us for a follow-up season, the schedule is definitely challenging. Definitely, you got to play them twice now with their newly added weapon. You got to play Philly twice. Giants ain't gonna be a pushover. I mean, unless Russell Wilson is just not good, or Jameis, whoever, Jackson Dart probably won't play this year. Unless they're just quarterback position is that inept, then they'll be bad. But assume that it's okay and it's the best since maybe 2022 Daniel Jones. They won't be a pushover, and we know we always somewhat just for whatever reason play bad against the Giants. And then the rest of the schedule, right? Don't we got to play the whole AFC West? Like that's the whole. Then we got to play the Packers, the Lions, and the whole NFC North too, right? If I'm correct,
I think so. Yeah.
I think the schedule is definitely challenging. So, and I'm not going into it tucking my tail or scared. I'm going into it with my chest up and expecting us to still be really good and like this is going to say a lot about our team in year 2. It really is, because we are not a surprise anymore. People are expectation now. Like, we're playing Detroit. They expect us to beat them. Don't care how good they are. We're playing Philly, expecting to beat them regardless. And that, again, that's why I am not upset about the pick or them picking them up or whatever, or like, man, Dallas got a good one. I'm actually happy for them because I know regardless of who they picked up, we're going to be ready for whatever they got. This ain't Ron Rivera. This ain't Jay Gruden, right? Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, to be good. I love it.
Yeah. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to all of our channels at Reedie and Zee, at Ballin In Burgundy, and at Juan Gotti Talking Sports. Tap in with us on all platforms.
Please,
and Juan,
do
you got some super chats in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Philip B.
Shout out to my guy Philip B. I appreciate you, my man. Always holding it down. Says dropping a little donation for my man Juan. Gonna have to catch the replay. I appreciate y'all, man. And as Z alluded to, make sure you subscribe to all of our channels, man. Get us up there. Some of the best content in this content creation world that we're in the Washington Commanders community. So shout out to you, Philip B. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But moving back on to the next topic now, something that's a little bit more exciting for the Commanders. 2027, the draft is coming to the city, and you want to know what's crazy? I was watching that Green Bay draft. I kind of got chills because that, I don't know, y'all could kind of help me out, but I feel like that's the first time I'd ever seen like a GM come out first round and say something to announce a pick. Matthew Golden spoke like I've never seen. I know they do the post interview drafts or post draft interviews like right after they get drafted, but like live like that was insane. And then to hear like he said, "Give me a Packers on 3," and the whole stadium or area just echoed with Packers. I was like, man, that is so cool. Imagine if we got the draft. Like I was just talking about it. Like I was like, where would they put it at, man? Like it's so crazy. And then a couple days later, 2027, we'll be hosting it. And Adam Peters said he fully expects to break the record. And I do too. I really do too. A couple reasons why I think they made this move. For one, obviously the success and hype of the Washington Commanders. But I think the biggest reason they did this is because we're going to be 2 years from now. This is the first like pre-example or first test of what the Washington, D.C. area fans are like in terms of a big event. So now with the new stadium coming in 2031, they're like, okay, they had what, 2.5 million at the draft? Like I've never seen that many people in one space. I'm going. I want to go. God forbid I'm still here. Yeah, right. So God forbid like anything bad happens to me. I want to be there for it. Same. You know, and like just to see that many Commanders fans and just fans in general of so many different teams in this area, because we all know before the Commanders got popping, we all been there. But before the Commanders got popping, it was always Patriots, Cowboys, Panthers. Like we seen everybody else besides us rocking their teams in this area. So it's regardless of Commanders fans, there's gonna be so many fans from other teams coming out. So this is the NFL's, I think, test to see what this area can bring. So when they host the Super Bowl, when they host these different events here, they know, okay, yeah, this is really the money city. And I'm excited, but I can't wait. Hopefully this is off of a cusp of a 2026 Super Bowl. That would be insane, man. So how we feeling, guys, about the Commanders, or I'm gonna just say Commanders. I know it's technically DC just hosting the draft, but it's the Commanders, right? It's gonna be Commander themed out. How we feeling? Go from Detroit to Green Bay, next year Pittsburgh, and then we up, baby. How we feeling about the Washington Commanders?
Go ahead, Kyber Jr. Take that.
All right, I saw it because I'm like, all right, thinking about it because when me and Chris were recording our last True episode, it came across our phones mid-record. We're like, we got to touch on this right now. Then, so we gave like instant reactions when it came out, but we all saw the renders. I'm gonna share my screen real quick because these renders look gorgeous. Let me pull it up. I mean, come on, these renders. Can y'all see it? There we go.
There we go.
These renders here. I mean, you want to talk about like the kickoff stage with Capitol Hill in the background. You want to talk about the stage itself. This feels like not even like a presidential election debate. This feels big time. You got
feel like the march on Washington.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
I was saving that one.
I'm gonna bet 10-1. These are all the green rooms on the side or something, or just a bunch of just sitting areas. Unless they're gonna fit the green room back here, which good luck. Like, this is insane. And then the view from the stage with Washington Monument in the background, like that's like, you want to talk about a $1 million shot? That right there is a 1 million person shot. What's the old saying? Pictures are worth 1,000 words. This picture's worth $1 million right here. I cannot wait for this draft to come in. And not only because it's coming to DC, imagine the tourism dollars and the income the area is going to get to say, if we put on this for the draft, wait till RFK gets in the building. You're going to have Super Bowls. You're going to have WrestleManias. You're going to have really, like, actually good concerts at RFK Stadium. Your Taylor Swifts, your Beyoncé's, your Post Malone's, your Jelly Rolls, like whatever genre you want, RFK going to do it. Because they're already doing it. So I can't wait. Traffic is going to be a pain in the ass. So unless we carpooling or something. I don't know how we all going to get there, but I can't wait.
We better hop on that train.
Hop on that metro.
Hop on the train.
Yeah. I was talking to my boy yesterday, and I was letting them know, like, look, we can't. There's no way you can go to work that day. You know what I mean? You got to get down there early, take your lunches. He was talking about packet tuna sandwiches and all that. Like, we're gonna have to be, get real comfortable, and you know what I mean, just have it up. But that's definitely not gonna be a day that want to be in nobody's whip. Like, hop on that train and just, you know what I mean, because it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, but that'll be good. That'll be good prep for RFK, because also, you know what I mean, what they talking about, you know, going from 22,000 parking spots to 8,000. It's gonna be real limited. So, you know what I mean, you're definitely gonna
which
be on
I feel like
metro.
makes much more sense though, right? Since it's gonna be like super great metro access. Not that it's not for Northwest things. A lot of people, they get it confused. They act as if you can't take the metro to Northwest. You can, but like, I think this parking spots, correct me if I'm wrong, they said it was limited because it's gonna be like some crazy metro access that's gonna allow, you know, which again, it's in the inner city now, and in any inner city in America, it's always the trains that's better than driving anyway. So that shot looked nice.
It's gonna be dope. I'm definitely excited. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let Reedie tell you. He gonna give me back from the reaction from the Debo trade, but he called me souped. So I let him tell you how, you know, how it was when he saw it.
I mean, we talk about the draft every year, about going to the draft, and then like, because I wanted to go to the draft this year. Z's like, who's going to Green Bay? It's nothing in Green Bay.
Actually,
like,
last year, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last year. I wanted to go to the draft last year too.
Last year was Detroit.
Last year. Detroit was lit last year for the draft. So I told myself when I found out the draft was going to Pittsburgh that I was going, but I don't know. Like, do I just want to wait for it to come here and just feel that nostalgia,
just save a little more?
That just wait for ours and just still watch it on TV. Then I was saying, people talking about, I'm gonna wait until day 3 to go. You gotta be in the building for day 1. Like, that's gonna just be crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, I've been to a Super Bowl in 2013, and now I can say I'm prayerfully gonna be at a draft. So the next thing I want to do is I want to hit a combine, and I want a Super Bowl in our stadium. And I think all of that is possible thanks to this owner that we got, Josh Harris, and our mayor, Muriel Bowser, because they say what they say about Muriel Bowser, but she gets shit done. You know what I'm saying? She's making stuff happen. Like her or not, she's making it happen. That's why they keep reelecting her, because she's making stuff happen. Striking these deals and keeping these teams in DC, and making it, like they used to call it a few years ago, the City of Champions. So hopefully we can do something special here, you know, in the future. But it's just that's just lit. Like, I always used to be a guy to be like, well, damn, why they don't never consider us for this and consider us for that? And it's just like, now it's just like, damn, like I'm seeing it now. So I'm super excited about just the opportunity to possibly be able to say tell my grandkids that I was at something or there for something. You know what I mean?
They never considered us because DAN was here. That is exactly why we was never in the works or never thought of. Granted, and we didn't have a good stadium. And to piggyback off that before we move on, like it's insane how this black, like figuratively, we always talked about this black cloud bend over this organization from Sky McLuhan and Bruce Allen and the culture is damn good, even though it wasn't, and Dan Snyder. But then literally the second this man sells the team, it's like, oh, okay. Now it's sunny skies. It's like
sunshine. What is this?
Yeah, and it's like so much that has been done. And I don't know if you guys caught AP on Pat McAfee, but he's like up until last year they were practicing on AstroTurf fields. Like, and it's like that's like concrete, you know. And he's like, man, we got to get this out of here. And then Josh just said, all right, do what you do. And I like Josh's ownership approach. I know the 76ers fans don't like. They hate it. They literally have a total opposite opinion on him than we do, but he's the approach I would take if I had that much money and I would own a team. Like, I'm doing anything for the players. AP literally said, he says, how is this going to help the players? How is it going to affect the players? All right, cool, do it. He upgraded the media room. Like, he was like, I wonder who paid for this. Just jokingly, obviously it was him.
Locker room now.
Locker room.
So he's doing everything right in just 2 seasons. Dan Snyder ain't do in 30 years. Like, come on, man. But yeah, move on.
Yeah, but do you think that Josh Harris learned from his 76ers situation, and maybe he's doing some things differently that he may have be doing in Philadelphia that they don't like him or whatever.
Probably.
So here's my take on it. I got a couple reasons for that. That's a great question. So first things first, right? If we watch basketball, right, like he tried with the 76ers. Like, they just failed. That process just simply failed, whether it's Doc Rivers, whether it's not getting enough around Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, etc. They always was in the Eastern Conference semifinals and literally got eliminated every year. And now it just fell off the rails this past season. That's one. Two, let's call a spade in my opinion. First of all, football is the king of North America sports. We know they're bringing the most money in there, so obviously it wouldn't surprise me if that is now a priority for him. But also, he's a fan of the team. Like, he's literally building his favorite team up. Like, I'm sorry, if I own 2 other franchises, I wouldn't be mad at him if he came out and said, hell yeah, I'm paying more attention. Mostly, this is my newest investment, so of course I got to spend more time to rebuild it back up. But man, this is my dream. I'm a fan of the team. If it's from a fan, now I get to own it, and it's like he's playing Madden almost. So I feel like it's a couple of reasons for why Sixers fans feel different than we do. You know what I'm saying? Because their process failed. This is a new investment for him, and he's from here, and this is his team. So like that's why I think.
I think it's definitely different too. Like he solely owns the 76ers. He's the current owner face of the Commanders. You just look at Magic Johnson, you got Mitchell Rails, you got a whole ownership group that got him to the $6.05 billion, where he straight up said, yeah, Philly, I want you. Where he had to take time to get that 605 for us. And I think having Magic Johnson, who loves DC, having Mitchell Rails, who loves DC, helps. He loves DC. Like, name me an owner besides maybe Mark Murphy, who went out to their draft party and bought all they fans beers. Josh did. Mark Murphy came out this 2 weeks ago to announce a Matthew Golden pick, and that's about it. Can't name me another owner who does that. So as much as, and I had to give credit to Magic and Mitchell and their company, because I was on a live stream last night with a Cowboy Up podcast, and I said, God bless Josh Harris. Like, yo, and I think Kenny was like, what, you don't like Magic Johnson? I was like, wait, what we're not going to do is do that. So I had to give shout out. But I think like Reedie said, the 76ers approach helps him, does this, but he also has a bigger team around him, I think, in DC than he does in Philly.
And again, they just failed. Right? They tried. They had their success. They had their run.
Yeah, they had teams. Doc just choked. I mean, and I mean that seems to be the going thing for Doc. You know, what I mean, he just continues to in big moments. I mean, he did it with the Clippers.
Habitually.
I mean, he was with Milwaukee too, right? Or he with Milwaukee now? Who he with right now?
Yeah, I believe it's Milwaukee.
Doc's somewhere right now. He just choked again. You know what I mean?
See.
So it's just like I think it's Doc, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
Milwaukee
mean,
right now.
That time, and then Embiid just keeps getting hurt, and it's just killing the. I mean, I mean, everybody know they messed up with Ben Simmons. I mean, he ain't panning out nowhere he goes. But like you said, Josh definitely tried, and you know, what I mean, he continues to try. So as long as you got a trying owner, you know, what I mean, for years we felt like Dan was trying, but we didn't know all the other stuff he had going on behind the scenes. That just
Dan was trying
that was
to
killing
hide
the culture. Yeah, I mean, he was getting a bunch of players and spending money, but we didn't know he was running a shit show as a culture. So, you know what I mean, just to kind of, you know, Josh Harris just seems like a good, genuine dude, and he's about, you know, investing into these teams. So I'm happy to have him. I mean, and even, you know, going back, I wanted the richest man in the world at the time. What's his name?
Elon?
No,
Jeff Bezos.
well, not.
Bezos.
Yeah, I wanted Bezos at the time, and you know what I mean, I can sit back and say, hey man, we got the right guy. I don't know if Bezos would have made these amazing moves that Josh has made thus far. And like you said, Juan, he's a fan, so it's a little different for him.
Mhm.
Yeah, before we move forward, man, if you on this live stream, man, you've been hanging with us so far, please like, share, subscribe. You know, follow all of our channels here on YouTube and all other social media platforms. We love doing what we're doing, but we need y'all help to grow so we can grow this thing and get the word out, you know, about our beloved Washington Commanders and, you know, just DC sports in general, but primarily the Washington Commanders. And we thank y'all for tuning in with y'all, man. We see y'all comments. We're going to get to some of them a little bit later in the show. You know, this is an interactive show, just like all of our individual shows. So feel free to chime in the comments. We see your comments. We're going to get to them just a little bit later in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I definitely think that continuing that conversation, Josh learned from his mistakes that he's made in his previous business situations. And I think he realizes, like, the more, like, it's on the players, like, to be honest, like, the more you can make them comfortable with their families and just like providing, you know, different services like mental health services, or be it daycare services or things that can take their mind off of everyday life, because we have to realize that we are people and the players are people too. Just because they are gifted athletes, that don't mean they're not people. They're people at the end of the day. They got families, they got kids, they got wives, they got all types of situations. Yeah, their money is probably better than our money, but they still got everyday problems, just like everybody else. And if you can kind of take away that worry from them, then they're obviously going to do everything in their power and stay focused and locked in for your team and for your investment. So then you're going to cash in on that investment on the other end, because you're going to make so much money. Like they invested so much in this team, but I'm pretty sure they got a lot of money out of it. Just getting to the NFC Championship game. Then all of the merchandise and all of the other stuff that goes into that. Like, you know, it's some type of sharing program that they got with the league or whatever, that, you know, between visitor and away team. So I'm pretty sure, like, our take on that hasn't probably been that high because we haven't really traveled that well in previous years. But now everybody's back in droves. Everybody's in the stadium. Everybody's here. Everybody and their mother was in Tampa Bay for that playoff game. So I'm pretty sure, like, he's closing in on his investment. So business wise, it makes sense for him. But yeah, that's just my take on it, on that situation.
Yeah, definitely agree 100% about Josh Harris. Yeah, he has done everything right. And again, this is just the baby stages. Next thing is getting that RFK Stadium together, and the blueprint is already put out. So we'll just wait and see for that. Now, moving on, though, like you said, make sure you like and subscribe to all of our channels, Reedie and Zee, John from Ballin In Burgundy podcast, and Juan Gotti Talking Sports. Sub us all up. We're all trying to reach our next milestone, covering the great Washington Commanders. Trey Amos. I always get it mixed up because his teammate ended up going to the Chargers.
I wanted Trey Harris too, but that's not me.
Yeah, you wanted everybody, John. We get it.
I didn't want
everybody. We know.
John
was in the joke when the Cowboys drafted the edge rusher. I
was pissed.
I'm not gonna hold you. Let's backtrack. I'm sorry, Juan. But I gotta get this out there because John wasn't here last week. When they made the first pick for Connolly Jr., I'm on John's live, right? The first thing a tackle. A tackle. All y'all gotta remember is Mike Green's name. That's the first thing he said. And I'm like, damn, John, and then I texted him the next day. I was like, John, how you feeling about the pick? He's like, I calmed down a little bit. Really. I'm sold on it, but I was a little hot last night.
I was hot. It pissed me off more because they panned to his draft party. So he's 20 minutes away from me. I'm like, oh, hometown kid. No, look at Oregon. I was hot.
Damn. Yeah.
And it'll make it no better that he landed in Baltimore. I think that's the perfect spot for him for his off the field issues, right? Off the field issues. So
I immediately text my homeboy that's a Ravens fan. I say, yeah, he'll fit right. You know how we are as Commanders fans. As soon as he don't go to us, then we don't like him no more. I say, yeah, he'll fit right into y'all culture.
Thanks.
But yeah, man. So we got to talk about I got Trey Amos. Apparently it came out. I mean, when it first happened, and they were like they had a first round grade on him, and he was in play for us at 29. I solely just thought it was off of the talent. You know what I'm saying? It was off the talent that they saw of him, or they were going off of the value, right? They were going off of him being one of the best players at 29. But then it came out that he should have been picked earlier before even us, but he had a serious back injury that a lot of teams tried to stay away from, similar to Will Johnson, who ended up going to Arizona. So him falling to us is most likely a blessing and something that we wouldn't have got if he had been healthy and ready to rock and roll. So what do you do with that news? How do y'all feel about that news? And is this I didn't read too deep into it. Is this a lingering issue? Should we be worried about it in the future? Or is this just something that happens pre-draft? He's good to go. And we just kind of came up.
I would say this is 2 years in a row in the second round. They took a chance on a guy that was supposedly injured or had some concerns with injury. So I'm just going to say Adam Peters hasn't steered me wrong yet, so I'm not going to second guess it. I don't think that this is something with Bellamy in there as the head athletic trainer and all of the doctors and stuff that we have and our analytics departments and all these other departments that are monitoring all of these different things and all of these metrics and all of these graphs and scales and stuff that's outside of our preview. I don't think that they would take him if there was an injury concern. I think this will blow over once we get into training camp, but we'll see Friday if he's out there for the rookie mini camp. And we'll better know, how this injury is affecting him, and so on and so on. But I just think it's a outstanding value at 61, because people were thinking he was going to be in the first round. So outstanding value, just same thing as we got for Johnny Newton last year. So they were shocked that he was still there. So I mean, that's just a win in our book. And then given our situation with 5 picks, I mean, that's a steal. You got 2 off the top, maybe 3 or 4 bona fide plug and play starters, because per Z, Bill is a guy to watch.
He's gonna be our starting running back one day. But yeah, I mean, on my end, I feel the same way. AP hasn't. I mean, outside of the Lattimore trade, that was the one that kind of. I was very confident about it, and then as the went week to week, and looking around like, damn, is this dude really hurt? Damn, we gotta wait 6 weeks before he play a game. Like it's been almost half a season since he been on the squad and he ain't played a game. So that was the only questionable move. And then for him to kind of finish the season the way he did, it seemed like he was still maybe a little injured. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna trust AP. I'm gonna take the high road and trust him because outside of that one doubt, everything else has been, pretty solid. Other than I still think we could have got a better wide receiver, but I kind of backed off that topic. But yeah, I'm not gonna put too much worry in it. I still think that, like everybody was saying, that it was a steal for what we got him at, and even if hopefully he doesn't miss any time, but if he did miss some time, I don't think it'll be something significant. But from the way he's been talking, the interviews that he's had, he seemed like he gonna be ready. So, yeah, no worries thus far. It'll definitely be something to monitor at training camp, though.
John, how you feeling?
I'm not honestly too bad. I had Amos a first round pick during my mock drafts. I had him as a first round pick in a lot of my mock drafts because I figured 6'1" corner, good wingspan, good size, good speed, good coverage. I was like, if he's, I had him as I think corner 3 behind Johnson and Trav. Because Rebel was hurt, so he fell to the 3rd. So I was like, all right, get him at 61. That's a beautiful BPA. Best player available, great value. And I mean, this is new. I didn't see this as a big concern because they're saying it was part of the pre-draft process and multiple teams discovered it. It wasn't just us saying, oh, well, it's got a bag injury. No, multiple teams. I'm going to say even if 8 teams out of the 32, so what is that, a quarter of the teams say, hey, he's got a back issue. He'll fall down our boards. We get him at 61. That's great value. He doesn't have to start immediately. You got Jones. You got Sanderson. You got Lattimore. You got we got another one on the roster. I forget his name.
No Egbenogany.
Egbenogany. Thank you. Number 6. For whatever reason, he's wearing a swaggy number. Whatever. We've got enough. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's not irrelevant to this topic, but I'm gonna bring it up.
All right. We got enough corners to where if they say, hey, Trey's got to sit out the first 4 weeks to make sure he gets fully recovered, we've got enough bodies in the secondary to say, hey, if we're playing, let's say, Philly, the Raiders, the Giants, the Chargers, our first 4 weeks, let's say, and we go 3-1, I'm not going to say, well, if you played Amos, you would have gone 4-0. No, it's you got enough depth. You sign people for a reason. You bring in camp bodies for a reason. And I think at 61, he was a great value pick. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Reedie, you wanted to say what you was about to say?
No, I was going to say, so does that mean Bill wears number 1?
Nah, Debo.
Oh, Debo's.
Yeah,
Debo's got one.
I definitely thought about it, but
I
thought about it, but it got shut down quick. Debo.
Who get number
Bill.
1?
Debo.
No, I know Debo wearing number 1, but y'all said who?
JCM. He goes by Bill.
Jacory Crossing Mary.
Oh, he goes by Bill.
Yeah, he said he that's his nickname. He was actually on I want to say Craig Hoffman earlier. No, Chris Russell earlier. And he was saying that he prefers Bill. It was like they named him that when he was at Alabama.
That's new to me. I thought y'all was talking about Bill Belichick, but I don't know why that just popped into my head.
Yeah.
But
not Alabama, wherever he started out at.
Yeah.
No, it was New Mexico.
Before
he was at New Mexico. It was Bama State. It was one of the two.
Yeah, it was Alabama State.
Alabama State. That's what it is.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it was like definitely down south.
All right, Bill. JMC sound better, but
I like JCM. Yeah.
JCM. Sorry, JCM sound better. But
call me Bill.
You gonna have to earn that, young fella. You go out there, take that starting spot from B-Rob. I got you. You fumbling the ball, I got you. I mean, you fumbling the ball, you Jakrowski, Murd, whatever. You something, Krosky. You go out there cooking, you Bill. But nah, all seriousness, man.
Bill.
Are we gonna talk about Bill after you say how you feel?
Bill.
Oh yeah. Oh no. We can talk about it right quick. I was just about to go to the last topic.
But how you feel about how you feel?
How you feel about
Bill? I know you seen the tape. I know you're seeing the talks, and
About Bill.
Yeah, and I'm on record.
Yeah,
He's going to be one of the top steals of the draft. I'm on record saying he's going to steal that. He's going to be in the mix. He's going to start by taking Eckler's spot, and then he's going to eventually take B-Rob's spot. And I'm not saying all that this year, but probably within the first 2 years. I'm sold on him.
Yeah, so
I'm sold.
You ain't seen a practice,
I'm sold.
OTA. You sold.
I'm sold.
Until
that college film got him. He said he got that.
We got my man Gibby. We got my second Gibby. Let's get it. Sold.
Boy, I think shit. I ain't gonna lie. I think that change of direction is better than Gibby. Some of them cuts he makes in the phone booth is crazy.
I mean, so for backtrack quickly about the jersey number, I wish Debo would have stayed at 19. I feel like that's
I wanted.
That's Debo. That's the Debo that was cooking. But anyways, I made a video on it a couple of days ago. I said, what did I title it? Was it something about Brian Robinson days are numbered or something like? Oh no, it was something like. It was something like the Washington Commanders finally got a real running back, and I was very high on JCM a lot, really because of the value. You know what I'm saying? You found that kind of guy, and that like I went on Twitter. I always go on Twitter after I do a little bit of research. Like I said, I know ball. I don't know why I always got to second guess my opinion or my takes, but I always kind of go to other podcasts or like researchers. Places like Phil Yates or something just to see what they're talking, see if we're on the same page. And after doing my research and kind of he passed the eye test for me, I went on socials and I didn't see one negative comment about this guy. Like his raw scores was out the roof, right? Like he's a physical back, right? He's not afraid to pass protect, he can catch. Yes, and of course I think his change direction it probably is better than Gibby, because Gibby was more of a receiver at Memphis, and then he turned to a running back. So this guy's more of a pure runner. It's kind of reversed in the sense, and I love it. I'm with you. I think this has a true place. This guy has a true chance to be the running back one in a couple of seasons from now. I think for me, Jeremy McNichols is going to get cut. I think so because I think Jeremy McNichols is not a practice squad guy. It's either Jeremy McNichols makes this roster or he's cut. And if JCM, sorry, I keep thinking of Luke McCaffrey, JCM Bill, if he goes out and has a really good summer training camp, preseason, I think Jeremy McNichols gets cut because you can much rather survive with Chris Rodriguez getting through waivers and bringing him back on the practice squad and having Brian Robinson, Alice Eckler, and Merritt as the three backs, and then you have Chris Rodriguez on practice squad to bring him up on game days or injuries or something like that. Then you do a Jeremy McNichols. He's not a practice squad guy in my opinion. I think he's either a running back on the active roster or he's gone. So that's my hot take headed into training camp is that he'll get cut because the Merritt will have a really good summer. I mean, unless they decide to keep four backs, but I don't know. Or was it five? I should say keep them all. You know what I'm saying? But that's my take. I think he's really good, and I think he has the potential to be the running back one in a couple of seasons from now. Because Brian Robinson isn't coming back, Austin Eckler isn't coming back, so this has to be the only answer. I mean, unless we go out in free agency next year or there's some running back prospect that's really good again next year, you kind of look at it as a duo situation. But I think this is a low risk, high reward again, and that's simply all of our picks out of this whole draft.
Yeah. You were pulling up Brooks. I was gonna say, don't let the Arizona State tape fool you. What he did is 2023 at New Mexico State. Insanity. I'm trying to find the stats because I pulled this up on our last episode. If I can, there we go. Yeah, for whatever reason, the NCAA just loves to screw their athletes, especially in their senior year. So don't mind his last year at Arizona. Look at his New Mexico. Yeah, it was Alabama State. But look at his New Mexico State. 189 carries, 1,200 yards, 6.3 yards per carry, 17 touchdowns. Oh, not to mention another
What division is-
167 Mexico State. Is that the American? It's the American Conference. I'm probably Mountain West. My bad. Mountain West.
Yes.
But in that same breath, Genty was at Boise State, Mountain West. So, be it as you may. I mean, Arizona 13 carries, 106, 1 touchdown. He played like game.
Yeah.
He played that game. But then you look at it like was it the East West Shrine Bowl or the All American Bowl for the college players?
The East West Shrine.
East West Shrine. What was it? Offensive MVP, got top 30 visits because of that game. He got progressively better every year at Alabama State. I mean, 2 touchdowns, 5, 4, and then his breakout season in 2023. I don't let the 24 film fool you. Look back at his 23 tape, and you're gonna fall in love with Beal.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was only that he missed the season because he only had 1 game. His eligibility issues.
Yeah.
They were saying something about his he played too many games as a freshman or something like that.
Which is crazy, even though you've got guys like Cam McCormick, who's on their 9th year with Miami, or Cam Rising, who keeps getting injured. He just medically retired today from Utah. He was on his 6th season. Give me a break about too many games played as a freshman.
Yeah, man.
Cam Rising medically retired. I thought he was coming back for his 7th season.
And he keeps saying everywhere he hops on the talk, he keeps saying y'all got a dog. Commanders got a dog. He
talking like top 30 visits, which was crazy.
Yeah, he keeps saying it. So,
and I think another thing that I like too is nobody knows about him in terms of what he has after 2023 season because he didn't play last year. So he's a guy that I think can sneak up on people come post preseason, regular season. So I do really like what we got there, but. Man, it's so crazy how the time goes by fast when you're having a good conversation. We're nearing an hour and we're closing in on our final topic. I mean, it ain't really a lot out there in free agency, but according to the script, we can talk about it. Washington is interested in the edge rusher department in terms of adding a veteran potentially, and this is something that doesn't surprise me because looking at the draft, going into the draft, we thought edge rusher was something that they would have addressed, and they simply didn't. And then you look at who's on the roster now. Do they think that highly of Jacob Martin? Do they think he really could be that good? Do they think highly of Cleveland Furrow and Dorrance Armstrong and Javonte Jean-Baptiste? Or Dietrich Wise, Javon Kinlaw gonna play a little bit like defensive end. What are we doing? Or is it more of the we're just going to rely on what we have and rush as a unit and have different formations and schemes? Who knows? But apparently they're interested in adding guys, veteran guy. They've had some interest in the Detroit Lions, former edge rusher, and Zadarius Smith. So outside of Zadarius Smith and Matt Judon, there's not really nobody that I'm really willing to take a chance on. And even Matt Judon, I'm kind of cool off of. Von Miller, he's 36. Von Miller, what is he going to do? Just hang it up,
He can be a 3rd down rusher. That's what he can do. He can teach these guys some technique and how to be professionals.
Man, just bring him on a coach. Keep him on a coaching staff at that point.
He can be an extended coach. Yeah, like I mean, hey, he can. We got enough youth around, he can show them guys something.
As long as Vaughn is
last year, he had like 6
Vaughn
sacks.
Had 17 tackles last year and 6
but we
sacks.
talked about it. He only played 25% of the snaps, so that shows that he wasn't getting in on every down.
He wasn't. And what production did he have?
Situational guy. He had
situational. What was 6 sacks?
I mean,
and 17 total tackles.
I mean. I take
how many situations did they bring him in on? Like
as bad as Chase Young.
I'm just saying. Like I'm not sold on Von Miller. Like I'm good. Finish your point, Z. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying like he's gonna be this wild answer, but I'm saying he can still give us something, and I think we could benefit from having a Von Miller in the locker room. He's another leader. And some of the things I just spoke on, what he can pass on to some of the younger guys. I mean, we addressed in. I mean, I think they're sold on Wise. I think they're sold on Baptiste. Like you continue to say, Lugu is gonna get his rushes in. So it don't seem like they're trying to jump out there and go crazy. So I mean, if you're gonna sign somebody, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they went and got us a Zadarius Smith, but I'm saying like I wouldn't overlook Von Miller just because he's 36. Like as a situation of third down pass rusher, I think he can still give us something. That's all
I think out of those three, Zadarius gonna be the most expensive though. That's gonna be
and they saying he's out of the market. I mean, he won too much money, so
more like $20 million a year.
I mean, for me, like no disrespect to Von Miller, and I see Hermit Robb, that's your guy because you're talking about he's a future Hall of Famer. Like we're not disputing none of that. I'm just saying, dude, I don't want him on my team at this point. Like I feel like
why you don't want him on your team?
You don't need like I'd rather go get Judon. I feel like Judon is gonna give you more than what Von Miller is. Now, I'm not talking about historically. Historically, we know Von Miller's numbers are way better than who I'm talking about, but I'm just talking about purely based off of his age and his recent production. Because what do I say all the time? This league is about what have you done for me lately, right? So based off of that, I'm saying I'll pass on it. I'm not saying that he's washed. I mean, well, shit, he damn near is washed, if we just being honest. But I'm just saying, like, all of that the point that you're making, and I said this on Monday Command, I don't care about, let's bring him in to be a player's coach to teach somebody this and teach somebody. They got enough guys on the roster for that. Like what are we doing here?
They got two.
I'm just saying they got enough for that. Like
they got Bobby and they got Zach.
Are you really like? I want somebody that can help us. Somebody that can give me 10 to 12 sacks. Like Herman Robb, I'm with you. We don't need him to go crazy. Correct. We don't. But I don't see the point of bringing him in. Like just because he wants to prolong his career. Like to me, I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing it differently. But
if we don't sign him, I hope he go out there and get those 10 sacks you wishing for. You can, because I think he's still worth a look.
I think he's worth a look, but I wouldn't. If we don't sign him, I'm not gonna sit here on the next,
absolutely
August,
not.
How could you not sign him? Like it's gonna be like
absolutely not.
All right, yeah.
I mean, I just feel like he's just being talked over, like he shouldn't even be in the conversation. Like
I'm just saying, I'm just saying strictly off of his age, and he's declining. And if we've been honest, like I just And I do agree with you, Herman Robb. Judon did have 5 sacks, but I just feel like he's younger. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always
not by much.
Youth don't always mean better.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not by much. It's like 36 to 34. It's not by a whole lot.
Yeah, and I feel like Von Miller is gonna. He ain't coming for no vet minimum.
Oh hell no! He coming in here for 15 mil guaranteed.
So that's dead in the water. So we don't even need to discuss that.
I don't think he's coming in and getting no 15 million either.
It's what his market is gonna be because he's older, he's a vet, but he's got the history for it.
I think it's
why he got
lower than that.
I think it's gonna be right around 15. Like see what Buffalo paid him, and then he sat out and got injured and whatnot. They still had to pay that guarantee. I'm gonna bring this up because we touched on it on BIB. Put it on the thumbnail. Is I got fans, whether it's in Washington, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Atlanta. I got people telling me, well, we still got a few picks left, right? Well, Trey Hendrickson still hasn't signed a deal, right? Cool. Trey hasn't signed a deal. Cool. What's in Cincinnati besides Skyline Chili? Nothing. So would I love Trey in the DMB? Yes. Is he also going to cost you an arm and a leg like a Laramie Tunsil trade? Yes. Guys, if that was going to happen, it would have happened a month and a half ago. It would happen when we did the Tunsil trade. Let's be honest. If we were going to wheel and deal trades, it would have happened around draft time. I don't think Hendrickson's going to get paid Myles Garrett type of money for 2 straight 17.5 career sack seasons. Would I love 91 in the DMV? Yes. Is 91 also taken by I think Wise has it. I think Wise took 91, which I think Kerrigan should have had that retired. But I don't see Hendrickson getting traded to the DMV at all. And it's old at this point. It's absolutely right. But I still got a fan saying, well, we could get him. He reminds me of Ryan Kerrigan. We need someone there, young, fresh, hip, to set the edge. Right now, it's not going to happen. We got 5 picks next year. We don't got the time or the space for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just feel like even if we did bring him in, he's going to want a contract. And I feel like we got to re-sign Terry first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the number one priority for me is re-sign Terry, and then everybody else could fall in where they fall in after that. But I'm pretty sure what do we do with Debo if Debo balls out? Then what do we do with Lattimore? Because ain't Lattimore gonna be up next year? Well, he got 1 more year after that.
And Tunsil.
Yeah, Tunsil. Like, so at this point, I feel like maybe next year we need to try to get an edge for real, like in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where we're slotted at in the draft or whatever, find a way to get an edge in the draft and just do how we did it the last year, by committee.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting with them, if Sanders still goes back into the slot, we can get pressure and stuff in different ways than with an edge rusher, getting there. So we just got to be creative. I mean, we just don't we got other different priorities that I feel like is more important than, bringing a Trey Hendrickson. Like, I feel like that ship sailed a long time ago.
Yep. I mean, there was an edge rusher at 128 I would have taken. He went to Philly in the 5th round, another Hokie. And I was like, well, did the rich get richer?
Mm-hmm. But I mean, we got rich in a undrafted lane. We got real rich. How you feel about Ja'Cory Brooks?
Let me talk about Ja'Cory Brooks.
Well,
take it away.
Oh, well, let Kuiper hold on. Let Kuiper give us his scout. What he had on.
Because I feel like he's going to be a Juan guy too. Ja'Cory Brooks, I feel like he's a Reedie guy, but I feel like he's going to be a Juan guy too.
Oh, now he's a Reedie guy.
He's definitely a Reedie guy. I'm sold on him. I'm sold.
I'm sold.
He's a UDFA. I'm sold. But go ahead.
I like the pickup.
The glasses on.
The glasses. In all honesty, I actually enjoyed the pickup. Big physical receiver. He's got the speed. I mean, it's not going to be breakaway speed. That's what we got Jalen Lane for. But I mean, when you search, it's 4.6, but Jalen Lane ran a 4.34. That's what I'm saying. It's not the speed we got in Jalen Lane. That's why that's the comparison. But I mean, you start your first 3 years in Alabama. You played with Bryce Young. You played with the last hopes of Nick Saban, and then you go to Louisville. You break out. You average 16 yards of reception, 9 touchdowns. He's got good film. I said this on the last episode of BIB. I keep saying he's got a chance to fight for in August for a 53-man spot. I could sit here and say I would take Lane and Brooks over KJ and what's old head? Not Crowder. One of the other guys. If we kept 7, Terry, Luke, Debo, Ja'Cory, Jalen, Noah. There's 5. All right, sure. We'll throw in KJ. There's your 7. Because he's our biggest receiver at 6'3". Everyone else is 6'1" or below. Everyone else is about average height. We need someone who's going to get you a little bit higher, not named Ertz, Sinnott, or Bates. And I mean, we're playing the highlight film, so hopefully we don't get copyright striked at the end of this upload. But he
probably is. I ain't gonna lie.
Probably. But I've got high hopes for him. He was someone uber talented. I thought would have been drafted. I thought someone like the Raiders, who took 2 quarterbacks at the end of the draft, and one of them went to receiver. I thought they would have grabbed him. But I am not mad one bit that we got Brooks. I enjoyed a little bit of the film I looked at pregame process, but I enjoyed the pick or the signing. Excuse me.
Yeah, I definitely piggyback on that. Hey, John, you owe me my money now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I promise. I'm just joking. But I definitely also Reedie said it. Yes, he's a guy that I do like. Noah Brown vibes, right? You know, I think Noah Brown. You know, but all seriousness though, I really like him. It's not anything that stands out athletic wise for me, but what stands out to me is the deep ball tracking, right? Like Terry McLaurin, he kind of has that vibe to him in terms of throwing it down the field, able to locate. I mean, I don't know if you was able to get to that part of the video, but I think that same highlight package, it showed him battling off a DB and still finding a way to secure with one arm. Like so many plays is all just that. And like you're gonna need that kind of receiver when you have a quarterback like Jaden all the time. You ain't gonna be able to find a receiver that's open. He's just gonna throw it up and give you a chance. And I love that about him, and I think he could be a guy that is in the running for that 6 spot. I don't think they keep except KJ Osborne is just a body for camp, man. It's so hard but he ain't do nothing last year. It's so hard for me to believe that they genuinely think he's a guy that can make this roster.
I forgot about Michael Gallup though, so I think Gallup might be 7.
Oh, might no, it's no 7. Gallup is a lock. I don't care. Like that, the locks is Terry Debo, Luke McCaffrey, because he's not being cut after 1 year, and Jalen Lane, Noah Brown's a lock, and Michael Gallup. I mean, I guess Michael Gallup could be considered not a lock, but come on, bro. Y'all can get me started on my tangent about Michael Gallup again. I promise you he's gonna be good. Just give me 600 receiving yards, bro. That's all I need. Anyways, KJ Osborne ain't making this roster, man, and I think he is a guy that being Ja'Cory Brooks that could be in a running, but every year we have this guy, right? Remember years ago, Robert Davis went off in the preseason, and I thought, oh, hey man, hold up. He might be that next guy that's alongside Terry, you know, Robert Davis. Or
Tinsley these past 2 years.
Yeah, Kelvin Harmon, Mitchell Tinsley, Bryson Tremaine, like shoot, last year Kaz Allen. I thought Martavis Bryant was gonna make this roster. Like it's always that training camp and preseason guy that is always good that just ends up, you know, going to the shadow realm, like you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get my hopes up too high for this guy. However, if there was somebody that I genuinely had high hopes for in terms of undrafted free agent, it would be him. But it also more than him, it would be that NC State offensive lineman that we paid all that money for.
Wait, Tim McKay.
I think he's a guy that
tackle.
So yeah,
right off the roster.
Yep, that's my takes on him.
Go ahead, Rick.
But I'm going to say I'm not going to take that approach. That's my guy, and I'm vouching for him. And Luke McCaffrey, better be careful. You might be almost off this rock. What's Luke's 40 time?
Let me pull it up. If he even ran it,
I'm thinking it's around the 4.6s.
4.47.
For what?
4.47.
4.4.
4.47 at the combine, and he was a 4.46 at his pro day.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I like him. I don't know. Maybe he's a practice squad guy, maybe. But I like him. I like all of those like short to intermediate routes. I feel like you don't have to have that top end speed to be a serviceable receiver in this league. You don't necessarily have to be fast. You just got to know how to get open. And based off of what I see, he knows how to get open. And he kind of has some little cutting ability to him. Like, you know, he knows how to play angles. And then like the ball skills are just crazy from what I've seen. And just his down the field tracking is insane too. Like I'm not saying he's going to be a number one receiver in this league or nothing like that, but as a fourth receiver, sometimes you can get lost. You might get on a linebacker or something like that. Next thing you know, he's down the field 6. Like it happens every day in this league. So that's what I'm saying. Like I just feel like for the value as an undrafted free agent, like it's insane. Like the talent is there. Like I see the talent. And then going back to our, third round draft, was it 4th round draft pick or third round draft?
Fourth
round draft pick in Lane, like insane, like a special teams player. Like that punt return he took back to the house was just crazy. Like he's getting grabbed in the face and all, like it was insane. Like, so he's just a burner. So like I feel like they hit every kind of receiver that you want on your team, and it's just it's just like levels. Like you got your fast guys, you got your kind of like your middle range guys, you got your little slower guys and stuff like that can kind of do different things. And I just love it. Like this wide receiver room was a room that was of worrisome to me a few weeks ago. We sat here on this show and we were going back and forth debating, why they didn't go do this and why they didn't go do that. And I thought they shored it up with, the people that they brought in as far as undrafted free agents, as well as who they, got in the draft. And I'm on the record with Juan. Like, I feel like Michael Gallup is going to have an outstanding season this year. I feel like he's going to be back to that, caliber that he was in years past. And that those are my hot takes on those two receivers. And I'm pumped up for it. And I feel like some of these other receivers, they may keep on the roster or keep around because we lack in the tight end room. So you kind of got to fill in the gaps with that. You kind of could get more creative in the play calling with those receivers, and they could do some of the things that tight ends may do. You feel me?
Yeah. I think one thing people forget with Luke McCaffrey, I'm going to come to the defense of LMC. 2022 was his first year wide receiver, and then he gets drafted 2023. He was a quarterback high school and starting into college at Rice. He quarterback in Nebraska. He transferred to Rice and switched receiver at 2022. So he had 1 year of film at receiver and returner before he gets drafted. So him and Lane could be your new punt, because Luke was doing returns during the season too when Eckler and Crowder were out. Luke was doing a few, and I remember seeing, not here, but on BIB or with might have been McCory, and saying, you put Luke out there a few more times on returning, I don't see a reason why you don't keep him around when Crowder is gone, when Eckler is out, when Robinson's not doing it. So now you've got two good speed, good size receivers to do your special teams work. And there was a story, I forget, but good players can start on special teams and work their way in. Jalen's going to do the same thing. Luke did it slowly, was getting there last year. DeAndre Carter, when we had Taylor as quarterback, he was mainly our returner, but when he got on offense and he touched the ball, he was doing a few good things for us. So I think I would give Luke another year. Granted, he's a third-round pick, so he's got 2 years left on this contract, rather compared to 4 or 5. But people are saying he only got drafted because of his name, or because he had a connection to Peters with Christian out in San Francisco. Peters doesn't do moves without consideration, without time, without research. So I would put down the narcotic, put down the blunts. Let's do a little bit more digging.
I am sold on both Jacories. And I think that Brooks is going to shake up this wide receiver room. I think that he's going to make some noise. I think that he's going to make this team the 53. I don't think he's going to. I think he might end up being too good to put on the practice squad to end up being stolen. Just how I feel looking at the tape. Of course, I'm making early predictions. You still got to get through rookie minicamp, all these other things. I get that. But my personal gut feeling, I think both of them guys make the team. And I think that I'm as I continue to listen, I'm gonna back off Mr. Gallup, but I think Mr. Brown might have some bump coming his way, so we'll see. But I if we do keep 7, then yeah, like you said, Terry Debo, Jalen Lane, I think Luke is safe. That's 4. Then you got Michael Gallup,
Noah.
That's 5.
Gallup.
Brown and Brooks. But if they keep 6, I think Brown might be,
I think it's gonna be the way around. If it's only 6, I think.
So you think if they keep 6, Noah Brown's out? So you're sold on Noah Brown?
If I gotta choose between Gallup and Brown, I'm gonna go Gallup because of the speed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gallup too.
I'm gonna go Noah because, and Herman Robb said it, Jaden likes Noah Brown. Jaden targeted Noah Brown a good amount for a number
I mean,
4
but he didn't
receiver.
have
season.
he didn't have a
Whole new
Debo.
season.
He didn't have Debo. He didn't
Yeah.
have
True.
Jalen. You know, what I mean, he had these other guys. So
Oh,
Noah
I
Brown
agree.
automatically became a number 2 because it was Zacchaeus
Yeah.
and everybody else. I mean, Diami was here, but Diami was battling and getting on the field pretty early on.
That's also true. Yeah.
So
I
I don't want to
don't
make
disagree.
on that.
I don't disagree, but I think connection helps. The fact that he already has that connection with Noah is going to help him a little bit faster than having to make a new connection with Gallup, with Lane, with Brooks, with Bates to a degree, because all he does is block. So I think the connection there, and if Jaden had I'm sure this is never going to happen, but if hypothetically saying they had to say, hey, Jaden, we're only keeping 6 receivers, and it's down to Noah Brown, it's down to Michael Gallup. What do you think? I would bet something that Jaden says, Gallup, cool and all. I got the connection with Noah already. I want to keep that connection going. That's just my thing.
Maybe.
Damn, Z, we agree on something? Damn. It's raining.
I mean, and I'm just saying it ain't like he can't get. I mean, he ended up on us because he got cut. They had a crowded wide receiver room over there. I mean, he's not exempt.
So here's the thing, and I don't want this to come off as like I don't like Luke, because I like him. But I don't understand how everybody keeps talking about he's sold. He did nothing. He's been playing receiver for all of 5 minutes. So a more seasoned receiver, why is it not that somebody could come in and take his spot? Like, it can happen every day. It happens every day, B.
It definitely could happen.
This consensus that like he's just safe, or like amongst us as fans, like they want to say he's better than what he is.
I think they're saying that because of the investment, though.
I don't know somebody made a point. I don't know whose show I seen it on, but somebody made a point that we're all saying Luke was open. He was open because they probably knew Jaden wasn't throwing to his ass. But I mean, I'm not taking that away from Luke. I think he has potential. I think he can, but I think like the time is now. He got to show something, because these young guys is coming in here, and to me, I feel like we got better. So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like those back end 3 or 4 receivers, anybody could get cut for real, if we being honest.
Yeah. I think if this conversation comes up again next offseason, then there's going to be a bigger weight. He's coming into his 2nd year of his 2nd rookie contract. I think they're going to, like Z was saying, return on investment. You've got to give him 2 years to figure this thing out. Because like you said, Reedie, he's been in this game at receiver for all of 5 minutes and a cup of coffee. He's got to get time to learn the proper routes, to get the coaching, to get the routes. People can say he's running soft. I see y'all out there. He's running soft, and I can't disagree. But again, he's been in this game at receiver for a hot dog and a handshake. He doesn't know everything automatically, like Terry, like Noah, like Jalen, like Jacory, like Iganagabi, or not Iganagabi.
Hold
guys
on,
like that.
Address this real quick, John. Herman Roberts saying that Lane can't run routes. I mean, from everything that I've seen, not saying I watched the tape on him, all his tape, but from everything that I've seen from like pundits and people who analyze him, like they're saying like he is nice. He just never had a quarterback. So they're saying like pair him with Jaden Daniels and Marcus Mariota if he's playing with the second team. They're saying that he is going to be lightning in a bottle because he lacked quarterback play at Virginia Tech. So I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, and last thing, if somebody in the comments asked us to touch on Izzy's side, asked us to address the kicker signing.
Oh, Matt Gay?
Shed light on that.
I thought we talked about that last week.
I thought we did too.
Yeah,
we might have.
We could talk about it again. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I know this is a touchy situation, but if things clear with Justin Tucker, bro, I know they not gonna do it. But my Madden self like just feels like you can never have too much. Like, come on, bro.
They got a man a guaranteed contract though.
Yeah, five.
Yeah, so that's why I know they're not gonna do it. I'm just thinking more so from my personal self. It's just like it's Justin Tucker at the end of the day.
Are you saying we should go sign Justin Tucker?
I mean, they're not going to for reasons that was just stated. But like me personally, of course, like if everything is good with him,
I thought that what they did in the media was just flat out crazy. Because why would you get up there and like call a spade a spade? If you cut that man because of the accusations, then stand on that shit.
Allegedly,
well, of course, you know that
because of football reasons and performance. Yeah, cap all he did for y'all organization. Y'all cut that man. Come on, miss me.
Oh, this was his worst year by far.
I mean, it was his worst year, but he did pick it up in the second half of the season. So, I mean, but you know that's what they do, right? That's an organization, so they're trying to still make him look as a good guy, and they don't want to put too much bad light on the situation than it already is. So they ain't gonna never say what it really is, but we know what it really is. But I mean, Matt Gay, I mean, he's not like coming off of his best year. I will say that. I do feel as though he can't be worse than Zane Gonzalez. I know Zane got us a playoff victory, but every time he stepped out there, every time he stepped out there, I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? Austin Sabat, same thing, right? So I know that he's more. He struggles past the 50, like 50 and beyond. He's not good. And that scares me. So I don't know.
Go ahead,
I don't know. I don't necessarily know. Nah, John was
John fixing his head.
He was doing his Zane Gonzalez little cosplay.
Go
but under 40, under 50, he's cool. He's good. He's really good under 40. Under 50. However, we're in this day and age where kickers is making it from 60, 61 with room to spare. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want. You know, I want somebody that we can go out there and five don't got to get us right there in the center. All right, if it's drive stall out from the 54-yard field goal, I need it. You know what I'm saying? We're playing too many close games this year, too many talented teams to be having kicking woes. So, I mean, just a way to see approach. I mean, they give him a guaranteed contract, so they feel confident in him. If it was me, though, I always feel like this. Even if you have an established kicker, you should still bring in competition just to make them work for it in training camp because they have a relaxed training camp. They don't do much in training camp, especially specialists. So bring in somebody to just have them work for the position. So I felt like they should have still brought in competition because making him flat out the kicker in April was. That's why I really don't have much to say on him because it's like a wait and see approach. We'll see come preseason.
Yeah, I think that money definitely kind of threw me off. Like damn, they that confident in him. But you know when it came out, I definitely was telling Reedie, I'm not mad at him over Gonzalez. You know Reedie was definitely feeling like we was being disloyal to Gonzalez, especially after just giving him a deal. But, you know what I mean, my sentiments was that, you know what I mean, like you said, if it's a better guy out there, you know what I mean, it's what it is. Sometimes you're going to lose your job. But, like you say, Juan, it's a wait and see thing. We definitely need to have somebody in here kicking against him in camp, but having that guaranteed money kind of almost says it all, you know, that whoever comes in ain't going to, you know, get the job over him. And the Justin Tucker thing, yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel you. Is Justin Tucker hitting 60 yards though?
He was
at one point.
I think he set the record for like 66.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you though. It would be because if things cleared up, it'll definitely be a good signing, but
it'll be a while for that.
Yeah, but also, what's up with these dudes? Like when they get caught up with these situations, it's like the whole focus just shifts and they get sorry. Because Watson just ain't been right.
That guilt, man.
Fell off. Yeah, like this just gets sorry.
Yeah. Why is it always the AFC North too?
Facts.
Watson
Something going on with the weather.
Tucker. Big Ben's early days with his allegations. If something comes out about Cincinnati besides Ocho Cinco, I'm gonna need to do some investigation on that AFC North. That is insanity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'll say on the point on Matt Gay, I just feel like it wasn't like clear. Like he may be better than Gonzalez, but like the numbers, it wasn't like clear, like definitive, like the numbers were skewed just that much in favor of him. So I thought maybe it should have been a competition at like you all have been saying, like it should be, specialists should have a competition unless you're just a clear superstar kicker in this league. And I wouldn't say that he is, like middle of the road. Like, yeah, okay, he's pretty much automatic under 50. But I feel like sometimes you need them 54-yarders, them 55-yard field goals and stuff like that. Yeah, given the situation, we're going to go for it a lot and stuff like that. So that may kind of like take that away or whatever. And if he's pretty much perfect from under 50, then we're, basically Dan Quinn is saying it's under 50, then we're going to kick it. If it's not, then we're going to, go for it. I mean, I get it, but I just feel like, I don't know, I would have preferred more of a competition in training camp. Like Juan's point, they don't really do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they need to, have some, competition. If that's what we're preaching for everybody else, competition, then you go and you sign this man to all of this guaranteed money, and then you just signed Gonzalez. So what was the purpose of signing him? Like, you know what I'm saying? But if we would have signed the kicker that we were all saying that we should draft, if we drafted him, I'm pretty sure you would have kept Gonzalez for a competition with him, even though you drafted him. So like, what's the difference with this gay character? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not blowing my doors off like with anything that he's done, you know what I'm saying, in this league. Like, I say he's an average kicker in a sense.
Now he is, yeah. I mean, all 6 of his misses, Matt Gay's misses, came from 50 plus. He's 3 of 9 from 50 plus, but 7 of 7, 40 to 49, 12 of 12, 30 to 39, 9 of 9, 20 to 29. Made all 33 extra points. Austin missed 2 extra points. The one against Dallas was the big kicker, ironically. Zane 0 for 1 on 50, 4 or 5 from 49, made all his extra points. I think they just wanted someone who can do this past season was 56, and that beats both Austin and Zane. So that's all I can think of, is they just wanted one consistent guy. He's 31. Other 2 was 96, 95. So he's the oldest out of the 3, but that means he's got the most experience. Tampa, the Rams, and then the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's cool, but I don't know. It wasn't something like just moved the needle. Like it was like a no-brainer for me. Like when I heard the news, it was just like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Like it's like it's similar. Like, I don't know. I just felt like it should have just been more of a competition. But I mean, if he's as advertised and he knocks everything down from under 50, and Jaden isn't keeping us, or having us in those situations where we have to kick longer field goals, then hey, that's a plus for us.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we covered pretty much everything. So any last words you want to say before we get up out of here from anybody? All right, so that being said, another great week of the Burgundy Breakdown in the books. Covered a lot, from Cowboys getting George Pickens to Trey Amos's injury and how it could potentially affect them, to the 2027 draft, free agents, and also now the kicker. That being said, make sure you guys subscribe to Reedie and Zee, John from Ballin In Burgundy podcast, and your man Juan Gotti, as we're all trying to reach our next milestones as we do love and cover this great team, Washington Commanders. So that being said, it's me and boy Juan.
It's been John.
I'm Z.
And I'm Reedie.
And we out.